And I want to tell you, it was my mother that started this thing. He said, you cannot have war in the morning and you are sleeping in the night. She pushed me into what it means to be an intercessor. She pushed me what it means to pray and all of that. Let me say this. I'm sure in my mother's mind, she didn't know, will this stick with this child? Will he forget it at some point? Will it be? Don't call your children children. When you relate with your children, you are not speaking to their mind. You are talking to their spirit. A child can be distracted, acting distracted, and all of that. Please don't allow the distraction distract you. You are speaking to the spirit of the child. When your children are asleep, open the scriptures, read over their lives. Declare over their lives. No matter what your children are doing, speak. My mother was a master in prophetic action. And I said it at the last women's program where I was speaking, and I said to them, my mother would, while she is frying in the kitchen and all of that, in a local kitchen, our local kitchen, with all that fire and all of that. So when I come into the kitchen, my mother would drag his stool, those kitchen stools, in the kitchen, and told me that I should sit at the seat of the kings. That I should sit at the seat of the kings. That this thing I am sitting now, where I am sitting now, is the seat of. Everything is prophecy for my mother. She prophesied over everything. Things that made sense, things that did not make sense. Everything is prophetic. People of God, every mother here, you have the pictures of your children. Prophesy. If you find their clothes anywhere, prophesy. Anything that is happening, prophesy. And I don't forget, and I just remembered it. Ordinary wooden kitchen stool. My mother called it seat of the kings. Why don't you call your own child's dress of the kings? Find something, and because they cannot fail. They cannot fail. They cannot fail. If you see when your own destiny came under attack, you can imagine what your children are going through right now. And half of it, they are not telling you. Half of it, they are not telling you. When I see mothers who can pray, and I'm not talking about vain repetition, I'm talking about revelational prayers. Lord, show me about my child. What are the challenges of this child? If you're a mother here and God is not talking to you about your children, you are parenting in blindness. At least God should be able to tell you, who is this child? Where is this child going to? What is becoming of this child? My mother said that to me. That's one very fundamental thing she said to me. She said, I don't know how to make you become who God says, so I'm asking God to help me. And that's the first prayer I'm going to pray. Whether you have a child or you don't have a child, whether they are adults or whether they are young, I make the first prayer. When you don't have the capacity to make your child who your child is supposed to be, even if you don't know the compass and you don't know how to make that child become, I pray for you today. Let God that gave you those children, at the sound of your amen, let God make them who He wants them to be. Your weaknesses will not speak against your children. Your failures will not speak against your children. Today I pray for your own children. Any child currently going through any attack, I pray today, let those attacks be broken right now.